Hello, and welcome to another recap of the Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 5, Episode 10, Sorry, Not Sorry. Okay, we now are going to see some very useful footage of different angles, or closer angles, of the actual fight between Monique and Candiace. First of all, I have to remind everyone that Candiace is an excellent instigator. Now, that I'm not going to come out saying that this was all Candiace's fault and that she in any way deserved what happened to her. Absolutely not. No, I'm not going to come out like that at all. However, I do want to remind everyone that she is just really good at poking the bear, as they say. She's an instigator. They were kind of jabbing at each other lightly, kind of sparring lightly, verbally. It got kind of heavier and heavier. She knew what she was doing when she was twirling around the sharp knife. Looked like a cheese knife or a fruit knife. She was kind of twirling it around in her hand until someone took it away from her. She was making fun of Monique, and then finally she got to the point where she's like, drag me. What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? Those kind of fighting words, which words are never deserving of fists or hands or any other kind of physical violence. Okay, Monique says she can't remember everything. Well, let me tell you something. Blackout rage, unless she is seriously mentally disturbed, which is not the case. Blackout rage where you just can't remember what you did, is extremely rare. I don't buy this for a second. I mean, maybe in the heat of it, when she was really pounding on Candiace's head, when she was shoving, pulling her hair, shoving her head down onto the table, and then just hitting the back of her head. Maybe during moments like that, for a few moments, maybe she wasn't totally, let's say, self-aware, but saying that she blacked out, making it sound like bits of the whole thing only came back to her later, do not buy that. That is not the case. Okay, she wants to get together with the ladies, minus Candiace. She asks to have the get-together at Karen's. She says Karen's is a neutral space, a safe space, but actually I think she knows that Karen and Ashley are the two who will most likely be on her side. Okay, Robyn and Gizelle speak to each other before the meeting, and they're both like, no, Monique was so wrong, and they don't think that she's going to admit to it. Karen calls Candiace and tells her they're having this meeting, minus her. However, she does say that out of fairness, she wants to invite Candiace to come. Too soon, Karen. Are you crazy? Thank heavens. Candiace is like, no, I'm good. No, Candiace does not want to come. And she's also a little bit hurt that Karen is being so neutral when Candiace feels like she was so obviously just, beaten about the head and face by Monique, that she feels like it should be pretty clear who was most in the wrong in this situation. Candiace does not feel the need to tell her side, which is one of the reasons why she doesn't want to be in front of the ladies. She just feels like, look, Monique was so wrong, so over the top, so violent. I'm not going to sit there and pretend like I have to make excuses for anything that I did. The focus should not be on me. It should be on Monique. She is not happy that Karen is even giving Monique a platform. That's what she feels like is happening there. And again, I will say, and you're going to hear me repeat this again during this recap, Candiace is a master instigator. She definitely is. However, Monique went times 50 over where she should have gone in reaction to Candiace's little annoyances. And again, you know, there's something called fighting words. What are you going to do? What are you going to do? Oh, you think you're a big woman? You think you're a big man? You're going to hurt me? What are you going to do? Hit me, hit me. Go on, I dare you, hit me. Those are fighting words. And in law, there's actually a space for those kind of words. But look, again, the space for those words, for allowing them to be, you know, mitigating circumstances somehow in a crime because someone said to you, why don't you hit me, hit me, hit me, go on, I dare you, hit me. Yeah, if there's any mitigation, it's not going to mitigate to the point where they're going to say, no, you did not commit assault. No, you did not commit, you know, murder, whatever, God forbid. So it's a weak foundation on which to base her, let's say, defense. All right. Gizelle comes in with a bodyguard. She's such a drama queen. Talk about an instigator. Gizelle is a verbal instigator. She is a major verbal instigator. And I mean, that's why she's very precious during all this with Monique. But no one knows how to provoke people into becoming enraged better than Gizelle. Okay. Monique sent a tweet. Actually, she sent out several tweets, and a lot of her friends have been out there on the social media and the blogosphere. And most of what's been out there has been pro-Monique and anti-Candiace. There's been a lot of cyberbullying of Candiace after this incident. And it seems to come from Monique's side, Monique's friends. And Monique sends out a tweet in such bad taste, and a tweet that makes her look so bad. She tweets, "Ask and you shall receive," because Candiace was saying when she was instigating her, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? Drag me, drag me, drag me. Come on, drag me. She tweeted it as if that's cute. That is not cute, and that is not what she needs to be doing and saying right now. She's not thinking. She's just reacting and just going with her feelings. Okay. Yeah, essentially Monique's reaction and attitude after the fight were as bad as the fight itself. I mean, maybe not technically or legally as bad as the fight itself, but it really just made her look worse and worse. I mean, there is no remorse, and there's almost a kind of a weird, twisted, I don't know if I want to say pride, but yeah, it's definitely she had it coming. Definitely. Okay, so she's driving over there, and she's talking to her husband, Chris, and Chris is saying, look, I'm just really disappointed in this whole fight because I haven't seen Candiace's husband, Chris, since this has happened, and they're really close. And he's like, I don't want this to mess up our friendship. That would be really sad. Okay, Wendy says in her little confessional that she's going to be honest. She's going to be very direct. She has very strong feelings about this whole thing, as we will see. Okay. Wendy says that Monique is perpetuating this stereotype that Black women are angry and violent. And we're not going to go all over this again from my point of view, because I said from my point of view, from where I stand, and also from my position in you know, American life, I had to ask myself, as you know, am I placing higher expectations on Black women? Because I could get to a place where I would lay hands on someone. Has it happened? Yeah. I mean, not like this, but briefly. It's usually been kind of a brief lashing out. But yes, I have, and I'm ashamed of it. And I don't like that side of me. But I can definitely be pumped up by certain situations where I can actually get physical, although it's very rare, and I'm horrified by it. It's a side of myself that I worked so hard on. I've worked so hard on anger management, and I've come a long way. But I'm very humble. I'm not going to say, oh yeah, I'm doing great. No, I'm humble, and I'm very aware that it's something that I need to work on constantly. And my problem is that I will just say really, and again, I think I said this to you before, I will just say really nasty words when I am really enraged, when someone is poking, and I get to that point. I will say unforgivable, inexcusable things. Just again, I should say I would say, because I haven't done that thank God I haven't done that for a while. But look at it, my big age, it took me a long time to work on that, and you grow up hearing things like, oh, it's your family, it's your Irish temper. No, it's not cute. There's no, oh, you just have a fiery temper. Oh, you just stick up for yourself. No, it's not cute. It's ugly. It's the ugly side. It's our animal nature, which we must always fight against, except when it comes to sex. And then animal nature is a good thing. So, all right. So, Wendy, we need to briefly talk about your confessional look, because I feel like I need to do a public service announcement telling all of the housewives from every franchise, long hair down to your hips, whether it's extensions or a wig, whatever. It's just not necessarily cute. No, you don't, no, Real Housewives of Orange County, you don't look like, Elsa from Frozen. No, Housewives of Potomac, you don't necessarily look like Beyonce, just because your hair is down to your hips. And it doesn't matter whether it's real or fake. That look can be tired, and I mean, Wendy's young, but it can easily be, if you get up there a little bit, very aging. You just don't need your hair to be so long that you can sit on your extensions. And the biggest problem with this particular hair situation is that there's something going on with the weave in the back, or the wig in the back, where it's kind of bunched up. I think it's supposed to be a bun, but it looks like there's a little black Pekingese a tiny black Pekingese puppy sitting on the back of her head. It's very awkward. It's not a good look. So yeah. But again, I just want to reiterate one more time. Can we not have so much of the extensions down to people's hips? Please, let's get over that. It's okay. I mean, if you have naturally long hair, or if you want to sometimes do a look like that for fun, I guess, but I don't know. A lot of the ladies go for and I'm talking about all the shows, they just go for this ridiculously long hair like it's going to make them perpetually young and beautiful. And they're beautiful anyway, without the hip length, what is that, 36-inch extensions. No, you don't need that. Okay. Robyn and Gizelle feel that she has ruined the standard that they have tried to set on Real Housewives of Potomac. Okay, now they've taken a lot of grief for this, and even some of you have written in comments, oh, come on. Gizelle and Robyn have been so messy, and they absolutely have. I absolutely agree with you. But having said that, I also agree that Potomac has set a certain standard. Yes, they can be messy. Yes, they can have fights. Yes, they have gotten physical. Yes, they have said ugly things. But in general, there is kind of a higher standard on this show. Usually these ladies are a little bit more, I don't want to say refined, but yeah. Yes, I feel like these women are, they're pretty much, mostly well-mannered, mostly able to contain themselves. And when they do get messy, they know how to come down from it. They know how to pull back. And I know that there have been times where that's not the case, but look, let's compare it to the other Housewives franchises. They're among the better housewives. Let's just put it that way. Okay, until this. All right, now we go to Candiace. Candiace, who is obviously not coming to Karen's house. Candiace is with her shrink, Dr. Ken. Again, Candiace, the world's biggest instigator, the bear poker. She will not admit that she instigated. She won't admit that she had anything to do with the physical phase of the fight. Are you kidding? She has the same lack of self-awareness as Monique. Candiace, you're a major instigator. You are that little who's going to drive anyone to do something crazy. Not that that excuses it. And Monique, you have a violent streak. So why can't you just both admit this? All right. And I mean, just even the way Candiace relates the whole story to her shrink, she's just lying. Candiace says, she told me to get my hands out of her face. And Dr. Ken said, were your hands in her face? No, I just talk with my hands. No. You do talk with your hands, but no. Then she started flicking my hair. Then I grabbed her by the vest. We see a footage of her grabbing Monique's vest, which I don't think we'd seen before. So that was interesting. Okay. But there was something about her grabbing her by the vest that in the next thing she knew, she said Monique was shoving my head onto the table by my hair, pulling me by the hair, then pushing me down onto the table, and then just hammering the back of my head with her, I don't know, her fist, her open hand, I don't know, but hitting her hard on the back of her head. Okay, now here comes Monique. Monique, a great role model for young women you may not be. A person with a violent streak you may be. But oh Lord, you have exquisite taste. I have to just stop here because we can't just talk about heavy things all the time. We need to talk about Monique's outfit. It's heavenly. She has this gorgeous shoes and a kind of dusky rose color with the bows in the back, and it looks like the bows are made out of actually a leather instead of fabric. I have a pair of shoes like that I love. They're like just where white goes to silver, kind of like almost like a mother of pearl look. It has like a little bit of a silvery sheen, and they're leather, and they have bows on the ankles in front that are made out of leather, like more like two little petals that are made out of leather. They're heavenly. Those shoes are absolutely gorgeous. They're so good with the jeans. And then she's got this beautiful color blocked pastel silk blouse with different pastel colors. And then she's got that adorable little wicker and leather bag. I don't know if it's Dolce & Gabbana. I'm not sure. Maybe one of you can tell me. I got to look that up. Who makes that bag? So pretty. In the same dusky rose color as the shoes. I love her hair choices. Usually. I mean, occasionally she has a miss, but I mostly love her hair choices, and I love this hair choice. And she just looks stunning. I mean, you know, she's my Dorit of Potomac. She may not spend quite as much time and may not have 3 stylists, but yeah, she's my Dorit. She's lovely. Okay. All right. Monique comes in and she says, look, this is not who I am. Karen says, you know, none of us expected to be here. We did not expect this to happen. We were all pretty shocked. And Monique says, I don't want to be defined by one bad moment. Maybe more than one. The problem is, Monique, even if we don't go back in the past before the winery and this incident, you kept making it cute. You kept going all in on the fact that this is cute and acting like you are not at all sorry, and that I need to get out there, I need to get the message out there that when people instigate and when people provoke, sometimes there's going to be consequences. Oh, is that your platform? Are you going to become first lady or president and that's going to be the platform you're going to run on? No. Gizelle is not convinced at all. The look on her face is like, we kind of go back to that moment again where Candiace is saying, what are you going to do? You're going to drag me? You're going to drag me? You're going to drag me? Then we also see some flashbacks, and it appears that a glass of wine is thrown into Monique's face, but we can't exactly see where it came from. A glass of liquid definitely flew in the direction of Monique's face, and we know that some glass cut her on the corner of her mouth. Not sure if it was Candiace throwing the wine of the glass or if it flew up from the table. I don't know. But we saw it a little bit better than we did last week. She claims at this point she's completely blacked out. And then that for a while, for a few days after that, for like 2 days after that, she didn't remember anything until she does remember going outside and running after her, which was not exactly your proudest moment either, Monique, but she does remember that. There is no way she blacked out. She was so calm when she was behind that door and the producer was holding her back from going and running after Candiace. She was like, no, yeah, I'm fine. The way she was talking, I mean, she was saying, you know, that she was going to go get her. It wasn't like she was saying calm, peaceful things, but she was saying kind of violent things in such a calm, peaceful voice. She was not someone who was shaking and screaming, and she was not out of control. She was not in a blackout rage. Okay. And again, she was very calculated when she was running after Candiace, saying, I'm going to kill her. I'm going to kill her. She had the strangest combination in most of this of being very kind of together and knowing what her goals were. Hello, Mama. Hello, Mama. My second husband. My second husband. He's my lovey. Yeah, so she had this strange calmness about her for a lot of the time, which is odd. Again, not screaming and hurling and but that calm, kind of lovely, modulated Monique voice, along with a lot of physicality, let's just say, along with a whole lot of physicality. Okay, all right. But she says that she remembers more and more, and she really started remembering a couple days after the incident. All right. Robyn pipes in and says, you know, you almost had me there. Then you lied. You said the wine was thrown in your face, and then you initiated contact. That's right. Monique said, when she was talking about what happened, that the wine was thrown into her face. A glass of wine was thrown at her face. And that was what caused her to go into that deep rage, was the glass of wine being thrown at her face. And Robyn says, nope, that is not what happened. You initiated contact. You started. And from your grabbing her head and throwing it down toward the table, things came up from the table, from the violence of the table being shaken around so much. Stuff kind of flew up from the table. And in fact, Robyn, a little private investigator, says there was red wine on your face. And Candiace was drinking white wine. Ooh, I'll have to go back and look at the footage again. Very interesting. This is quite good. I like the way we're kind of looking at this like it's a mystery. I mean, again, I'm not happy that this gorgeous, intelligent, amazing, aspirational Black woman had this moment of rage. No, I'm very upset. I love Monique. A little less so after this, but she was my favorite. She's been my favorite. So the wine spray came from things flying off the table as you slammed Candiace's head into it. Now I'm gonna quote from Funky Dineva, which, if you haven't watched Funky Dineva, who's also Quentin Latham, a talk show host, recapper, all over, kind of all around entertainer. he would say, Nessa, tell me these are not the best housewives. He always calls his viewers Nessa. These are the best housewives. They're really good. Okay. Then Robyn is like very, very clever. She's like, you grab the top of her hair first. Okay. Then they blame her for feeding information to all the blogs that are very pro-Monique and really bullying toward Candiace. There's been a lot of social media bullying. So Monique basically sent people out to really go all out attacking Candiace. Now we're back at the shrink, and Dr. Ken says to Candiace, do you think you did anything to contribute to the physical side of this altercation? And Candiace says, no. She is smoking something strong if she really believes that. I mean, why? I can't imagine lying to your therapist, but I don't think I think in her mind, she didn't. I think she's one of those people who just kind of looks back and sees her behavior as how she would like it to be, not necessarily how it was. The combination of things being recounted by Candiace to her shrink, and then by the ladies and by Monique at Karen's house, interspersed with these black and white clips of the actual, violent episode. This is one of the best filmed and best produced episodes of any Real Housewives I have ever seen, except for maybe Scary Island, Real Housewives of New York. Google it if you're not familiar. Scary Island. Okay, Ashley feels like she should help Monique as a friend. I think Ashley also kind of sees the other girls kind of ganging up on her, and she doesn't want to be part of a kind of a mean girl situation, so she feels like she's going to take up for Monique. And then also remember that Candiace and Ashley have not been exactly the smoothest sailing with each other, so that might be part of it too. Gizelle says, Monique, you are always making violent threats, because Monique keeps saying, this is not me, I don't do this, I don't do this. And Gizelle says she's been taking notes about what Monique has been saying because she wants to address it, but I think Gizelle is sitting there remembering all the times that Monique has been violent, because we have the first time that she met Gizelle, she said that she would punch Gizelle in the face. Then there was the umbrella thing with Robyn, which was really scary, because she's pressing an umbrella against Robyn's throat and saying she was going to choke Robyn out. Monique said, I'll choke you out. Okay. 2 seasons ago. That was 2 seasons ago. Last year, she told Candiace she would drag her. She was like, I'll drag you, pregnant and all, I'll drag you. Okay. And Gizelle says, you told us what you were going to do, and you did it. A little while later, but you did it. So you showed us, or told us, who you were and what you were going to do and what you could do and what you wanted to do. And then you did it. Gizelle says, I think that you showed us who you are. Not all the time, but who you are capable of being. I kind of agree. She discussed what happened with her girls, and they were like, do not be around her. Now Monique is getting very condescending and very passive aggressive. She's taking everything too gracefully, like, well, I can completely understand why your girls would tell you you don't want to be around me. It's not good. Yeah, it's not good. She's basically sitting there saying, I haven't done anything wrong. I don't have any remorse. I don't care what you think. I'm happy with what happened. It's not good. She's looking worse and worse. Karen is, again, very chill, as she has been all season. I don't know what they did to Karen, but she does tell Monique, you effed up. Definitely. We do not put hands on each other. We get to the point where we might want to, but we don't do that. This group of women, we don't do that. And heaven knows we drive each other insane, and we got some instigators. and Candiace is definitely one of them. All right, Monique says she's going to talk to her pastor, but there's no humility. There's no regret. I see no humility. I see no regret. I agree with the ladies. She does say that she was completely aware when she was running around the barn after Candiace saying, I'm a killer, I'm going to kill her, I'm going to kill her. All right. The main problem is it all comes down to, Monique, you are not remorseful. You've never claimed to be. You've never, but I mean, it's also in the way you're speaking, the way you're addressing the ladies, the way you're responding to the ladies. It's in your passive aggressive, oh, well, that if you don't want to be around me, I can understand why your daughters would be worried by the way you told them what happened, et cetera, et cetera. Okay, and then Gizelle says, I have zero respect for you, and I think you're a liability. Which is really strong. So she says, you know what, I'm not going to be near you. I don't want to be near you. And Monique is so flippant. She's like, well, I respect that. I understand that. Again, she's acting like a Southern belle. Well, I'm sorry that we have had a falling out, but I completely respect your decision. And then Gizelle really annoys me by saying that, Jamal and I, we have to think of our reputation because Jamal is pastor in this big church in Atlanta, and we can't be hanging around with someone who's violent and setting a bad example for young black women because, Jamal is a pastor. Oh, please. Jamal's reputation is somewhere way down there, way out of range of the camera, maybe under the floor, maybe down the next level. His reputation is... And I think that Jamal is going to do a lot to ruin his own reputation before all of this is over. So, ew, that was just uncalled for and just weird. But remember, she was a pastor's wife before, and I guess once a pastor's wife, always a pastor's wife, and there's just certain things that you automatically say. But that was like, oh, Gizelle. I mean, she was kind of making some good points. Robyn was making some good points, even though, again, neither of them are perfect. They're very messy. But no, Gizelle, you should not have brought up Jamal. And I will believe you two are marrying when you get married. So when I see you get married with my own two eyes. All right. Monique, of course, has not apologized to Candiace. She hasn't apologized to anyone. Why would you apologize when you feel like you have done nothing wrong? You feel like you were in the right. You were absolutely 100% convinced that you did the right thing and you reacted in a completely justified way. That someone pushed you and poked you and instigated you and used fighting words and you gave them what they wanted and you fought them and you were violent with them. And there's nothing for you to be humiliated or anything about. She says her adrenaline is still pumping. That just thinking about it, her adrenaline still is pumping, like she is still capable of hurting Candiace. That's not right. That's just not, especially because Monique has this way of being the most elegant lady. Just so, her voice is so lovely. She could read, she could read online books. She just has a beautiful voice. And yeah, it's really strange to see this beautiful face and this beautiful voice from this intelligent woman coming out with these things. It's very odd. Okay, now Monique really does something that loses me even more. You know how I feel about fake crying. She asks everyone to pray for her, and then she does the worst attempt at fake crying. This is really bad. This is one of those situations where who was it not too long ago where I saw someone trying to fake cry and they were so bad at it, they just gave up. they just backed off and stopped because they were just like, this is not going to happen. Tears are not going to come. So you know what? I'm just going to forget it. And it's kind of like that. I mean, it's like for a certain amount of time, she tries to use her voice, you know, when you're not crying at all and there's no pain, there's no real, you know, emotion that would be enough to make you cry. So she's going, I'm just going to make my voice sound like this. And if I could do this, I could do this recap like this. And I could say that I'm so disappointed in Monique. You understand? What is that? What does that mean? It signifies nothing. Nothing. Yeah. She says, you know, somebody has to stand against words. No, fists do not come in against words. No. Not in the law, not in life, not in morality, not in ethics, not anywhere. Karen is making excuses for Monique, making excuses. She says, you know, I looked in your eyes when you were grabbing Candiace by the hair and you were not there. Like she'd been taken over by some kind of anger demon. All right. You know, she's gonna keep trying a little while longer to bring those tears, but all we get is the fake choked up voice. And then she says, you know, maybe I need to be away from this. Maybe I need to be away from the show for a little bit. Robyn makes a good point. She goes, look, we all know how annoying Candiace can be. We have all probably thought about slapping her. But the fact is, Robyn says, I would never hurt her. She can annoy the shit out of me, but I'm not going to hurt her. Oh, and this part. Yeah, she's running for senator or something, apparently, because she grabs the baby. Oh, look, I'm an earth mother. I'm just a lovely mother. Look at how good I am with this baby. I could never really hurt anybody. What are you trying to... All right, fine. It was just bad timing and looked, again, really, really fake. Okay, so I feel like Wendy is expressing how I feel the best. But she can express it because she is a black woman. I feel like when I might say the same things, but then I'm like, no, because I could do something like that. So then I'm putting higher expectations on black women. I'm imposing higher expectations on black women. So I can't judge that when I know that I myself am capable. I'm not capable of, oh my gosh, please don't misunderstand me. When I say I've gotten physical, I mean like, and I feel like I've told you this before. I'm talking about like one open-handed shove of somebody or a blow on somebody's shoulder, something like that. I don't think I've ever even slapped anyone in the face. I'm not talking real, but definitely, you know, I have gotten physical, which is terrible, you know? And yeah, I feel like complete dirt. And again, it hasn't happened for a long time. It's not like it happened that many times, but I would just feel absolutely beside myself afterwards. Okay. Robyn and Wendy leave. Good for them. They're like, you know what, we're not going to sit here and eat brownies and chat and drink champagne like everything's great, because we're not buying this. And this is kind of turning into Karen and Ashley comforting Monique, and they don't think she deserves to be comforted. So they leave, which I respect. Oh God. And then Monique finally, and she's just digging her own grave this episode. Karen says, you will learn from this and you will use it, and in the future you will help young women understand that you should never lay hands on people. And Karen gives her this big maternal hug, and we see Monique's face over Karen's shoulder, and Monique smiles and she says, and also that you don't go provoking people. So we have learned nothing. Monique has learned nothing. She doesn't think she needs to learn anything. She thinks she already knows everything that needs to be known, and that she reacted appropriately, and that's where she's going to stand. Is anything going to change between now and the end of the season? I don't know. We'll have to see. They showed a little preview of the second half of the season, which looks very interesting. There are some very unsurprising things that are going to happen, like certain people being unfaithful again, 2 people in particular being unfaithful again, it looks like, that I'm not surprised about. And of course, lots more drama, lots more glam. They're going to Portugal. Fabulous. I love Portugal. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and hope you will join me on this journey. Thank you for being here with me for this recap. And I love it when you comment, and I will answer everything from you, and I really appreciate and enjoy everything that you have to say, your insights. Sometimes I learn some things from you, and I always appreciate hearing from you. So keep those comments coming. You would do me a very great favor if you would push the red subscribe button. I would be thrilled. And you can also ring the bell if you want to be notified when I have new uploads. And I also want to welcome new subscriber, Ronnie Williamson. Welcome to the Shady Tribe. We are so happy to have you here. All right, and you guys know that I want you to be careful, and I want you to be good, but not too good. Love you guys. Bye.